right, welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam and I am excited today to have a 2020 Ford Bullitt Mustang. Now this car is very unique. When you think of Mustangs and think of all the special edition cars that they've had in the past throughout the lineup, the Bullitt is definitely one that is really unique. First thing you notice is it doesn't have a whole lot of in-your-face stuff going on the outside. There's no stripes, there's no pony badge on the front, and there is no badge on the side. They just really cleaned up the look of this car. You have a lot of black trim on this car, but you do have some subtle touches of chrome. You've got the chrome around the grille here in the front, and you also have chrome around the windows up here. Just a nice subtle styling cue that I really like on this car. Now, going along with the clean styling of this car and the beautiful curve that the modern Mustangs have from that side profile, you do have some functional heat extractors on the hood and just those nice lines. They look really good when you're in the driver's seat to look over the nice lines of that hood. But this being a Bullitt car, it is actually dark green. It may look black in some lights on camera, but it is a dark heather green. When you get it out in the sunlight, you really see the green on this car, and it's really pretty color actually. But as you come down the side, again, sticking with that clean theme and the black trim, you do have the black wheels that look really good, but I like the way they've exposed the alloy on the outside edge of the wheel. Those look really good. And you do have Pilot Sports on this. Summer tires, they're nice and sticky. And you've got two 55s in the front, you've got two 75s in the back. But let's talk a little bit more about what makes this car unique. Let's go around to the back, and we're also gonna look at the interior. All right, we're here at the back of the car, and you notice the subtle nature of the styling on this car continues. So you've got your Cyclops light, your third brake light right above the back window up there. You come down here, again, no spoiler, but the way they've resolved the lines on this car here at the back is really nice. Now, I like the black on the trunk lid here, and you've got your backup camera here right above this really nice Bullitt logo right here with just a little bit of chrome so that you notice it. But you come down here, your reverse lights in the middle. You do have parking sensors here on the back, but notice way down here, you have the black exhaust tips, and it kind of adds to the sleekness of this car and leads you to believe there's almost like something sinister there that is really unique about the Bullitt Mustang. So let's see how they've carried that attitude on into the interior of the car. All right, here on the interior, you will notice some subtle differences between a regular GT that are unique to this. First of all, it says Bullitt and the build number here on the dash. And you've got this beautiful green stitching that goes all around the interior. It's on the seats, it's on the doors, and it's even up on the dash and here in the center as well. And you've got a beautiful display here in the center. I love these old school style switches that are here. You got your drive mode and your traction control, and your engine start stop button is down here as well. That's kind of a unique place for an engine start stop button to be, but I like how they've incorporated all of it here in the middle. And just kind of what takes over the interior in this car is this white shift knob, and it's unique to the Bullitt, and it really, really sets off the interior of this car. But you've got, car is packaged nicely. You know, if you get a GT, you can get performance packages with that car, but the Bullitt here is packaged nicely just as it comes. So you've got a beautiful display here, up here in your gauges. I love the animation of the car when you turn on the car, and the revs are set up really nice, and you've got just, it's really clean. You can customize so much of it. You do have lots of buttons here on the steering wheel, almost too much for me. There's a lot going on in the steering wheel, but all is forgiven because you see that Bullitt written right here in the center of the steering wheel, and it just reminds you that you're in something special. So this car, again, it's a 2020. It's gonna come with Ford's third version of Sync 3, and the way they've buttoned things up in here is really nice. So just mostly black. You've got a little bit of a stainless steel look up here, but it's a really nice place to be. It's really comfortable. You can option this car with Recaro seats, but this one has the leather seats. They are heated and cooled, and you can move them in multiple different directions to get just in the right position. That's something that is a little more difficult to do with the Recaros, but I really like the way this one is outfitted. It's comfortable. It's an easy car to live with day to day, yet it's still special and it has some special performance. so subtle that it causes you to take a second look at it when you notice it and be like, what's going on with that car? But man, you get behind the wheel and you drive it and you're just like, ah, that's it. It's just got this attitude, this beast mode. Like every time you drive it, you just feel like it wants to get after it and do something, go get in some trouble, something like that. You gotta love it. Now, I'm driving with this car in normal mode right now, and it is comfortable. It is perfectly easy to live with on a daily basis. My seat is extremely comfortable. These are heated and cooled seats, by the way. But the ride as I go down the road, I'm absorbing the bumps just fine. And you're insulated actually from the sound around you pretty well, but you still get to hear that engine note. Yeah. All right, now this being a Bullitt, what is unique to it is you get a little bit of a power boost over what you have in a standard GT. So instead of the 460 horsepower, you have 480. And so it slots right there between the regular GT and then, like, say, the GT 350. And I know you've got the GT 500 and you've got the Mach 1 that's going to be out there too. But this is a very easy car to live with, but yet has great power, and paired to this 6-speed manual transmission is just so much fun. And driving this car is just a blast because it's got that particular attitude to it, and it's got the powertrain to match it. And rolling through the gears with this shift knob here and this 6-speed transmission, even if you're in normal mode, comfort mode, with your steering and your suspension settings, it's all whatever you want it to do, it'll do. It'll be that car for you, and it'll get after it at any moment in time that you need it to. That magnetic ride is fantastic. You can really stiffen things up if you're going into track mode. So, and of course you've got wet mode in here as well. But this car is really a performer. Now at 4,400 pounds, that's kind of hefty, you know. It's a little bit of a heavier car. Cars have gotten much heavier over time. Think all the way back to 1968, the original Bullitt Mustang didn't even weigh 3,000 pounds. So it's a much different time now. It's a much different era. Cars are much heavier, but this car carries its weight really well. So think about, it wasn't that long ago, it was less than 10 years ago that Mustang still had that solid rear end, but now you've got that independent rear end, and the way that this car carries its weight is really impressive. All right, to sum things up on this 2020 Bullitt Mustang, the modern Mustang is a really capable machine. I'm really impressed with the way that this car drives, but it's a Bullitt Mustang, so you got a little bit of extra attitude to this car. The subtle styling cues that we've talked about, this car is a little more covert than your average Mustang GT or something more boisterous like a GT 350 or a GT 500. But I love the attitude of this car. It's a great sports car for the street. Now, there's still muscle car there, but the Mustang definitely has become more sport car-like over time. The way that it handles that independent rear end and the magnetic ride suspension really helps this thing perform. You put it into sport or track mode and you're really gonna be impressed with the way that this car carries its weight. I really do like the subtle styling cues on the Bullitt. You know, that dark green paint looks really good in the sun, but at night or in the shade, it's black. I like the black wheels. Now, the leather interior in here is great. I would like to see what it's like to have the Recaro seats. I bet this thing would just be a monster at the track, and having a Recaro seat to hold you in would be fantastic. But this car is gonna be a great place to go if you want street performance. It's a great place to be. So the 2020 Mustang Bullitt, they don't make them every year. They just make Bullitt cars here and there. But that heritage all the way back to the 60s, such a cool car, and we're really impressed with this one here at Drive It Out. If you like car reviews like this and you want to see more that we have coming in the future, please don't forget to subscribe down below. Special thanks to Dan for this car, fresh off the showroom floor, letting us get our hands on it to do this review. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.